is your prescription. So you will need to apply this on the area that you have injured. Rub it into the skin and do that every day for 4 days. If by the 4th day your affliction has not cleared, then you will come back here and we will try a new prescription. Wonderful. I hope that this alleviates your problem, and thank you so much for coming here. Good day. Hello. What can I do for you? I see. Give me just a moment. Let me see what I have in my scrolls. My name is Peshehet. I am the priestess of the Lady Isis. Tell me a little bit about your particular ailment, the history of it. And when did this start? I see. I think this has a list of different diagnoses and what I have to do to confirm a diagnosis, and then based on that it gives me a treatment. Let me see. Now I will start by first looking at the area of affliction. If you don't mind, I will need to be touching around your head. I may be pushing and pulling a bit, squeezing. Is that fine with you? Wonderful. Now just hold still for me. Now you said it's right here, right in the center. And does this make it worse if I press on it? It does. I see. And just remind me again how long you've had this. A few days now. And is there any other part of your body that is afflicted by this disease? And what have your dreams been like lately? Yes, I suppose if you haven't had any dreams of note, there isn't any need for us to try a dream interpretation. There is one person that came here earlier that had been dreaming that they were being consumed by crocodiles. Unfortunately, that particular dream, well, let's just say I sent them off with an alleviation for any pain or discomfort. And that's all we can do. Now, has any of this been uncomfortable or tender? No. I think I will need to diagnose the channels. the heart is the root of all fluid in the body. There are many fluids that keep us well, and should any of these channels become blocked at all, these vessels, if they are blocked, then that is when we see pain or disease from that imbalance in the body. So to diagnose the vessels, the channels, I do so by taking your pulse. So I will need both of your hands. Here we are. And we will just wait a little while I listen to the vessels. Have you had an ailment of this variety before? I see. But it went away on its own. Then that is why I did not see you here. Yes, I do treat quite a few people, but it is easy enough to recognize the fellow villagers. After all, we are not exactly a large settlement, large enough to have a rather large area of worship for the Lady Isis. And now the other side. But no, I do recognize my patients. I see quite a few of them many times, often to get more prescriptions. Those with the arthritis or the sprains, the overworked muscles, the headaches. So your vessels seem to be blocked a little bit as I've been feeling the pulses. There has been a little catch. So I think that corresponds with why you have been feeling this headache lately. So let me consult the scroll. I see. Now there is a specific remedy for this particular affliction. I will need berry of the coriander, berry of the poppy plant, wormwood, berry of the sames plant, berry of the juniper plant, and honey. A rather simple prescription, I think. So, now that we have divined what your diagnosis is as well as the treatment, then we say, one who has an ache in the head, one who has an ache in the head, an ailment I will handle. Now we start with our berry of the coriander. Now, interestingly enough, this particular prescription it comes from a myth of the Lady Isis and the god Ra. Berry of the coriander. Good. Very good. Berry of the poppy plant, I think I have right there. Now the myth goes that one day the great god Ra had a horrid headache. and he tried to make his own remedy, but it did not work. And he tasked the deities to concoct a remedy for him. And with each god or goddess, they gave him a recipe of their own making, and all of them served to just make the ache worse. Until the Lady Isis, goddess of magic, medicine, mother of all kings, all gods, she came up with this particular recipe, and when she bestowed it upon Ra, it cured his headache. I think that is enough. Let me see. Wormwood. Many of our medicinal remedies were bestowed upon us by the goddess Isis. She is said to be one of the most powerful deities because of her affinity for magic, for Heka. And so she blessed us with these different medicines. So mixing these together as I go, as we will be making this into a paste. Good. And what else shall we have? Berry of the same sort. Good. And this concoction that I'm making for you, I will also be letting you take home with you, and you will be applying it yourself. Of the juniper plant. Do I have that nearby? I think there's so many different herbs and berries, seeds that sometimes I think just get some of that. Often cannot find what I'm looking for. I don't know if that's quite enough. I go through so many of these different medicines that it seems I will have to stock for more before I go home this evening. I find I am rarely home as of late. It seems the community has either had a cold or an injury or some sort of ache or pain that has kept me here for most of the day. But that has been how it has been since I've studied at the Parank. Long days, but fulfilling, very rewarding. And honey. And that is to be mixed last. We need to make sure that this is all thoroughly mixed and crushed before we can add our honey. Isn't it just a fine day? I find that it is not so bad that I am out here all day with the shade of the fig trees and the palms amongst all of the flowers in the gardens that I use to harvest my herbs. We have the gentle breeze off the River Nile. It's a beautiful place to live. There is a reason that the Egyptians do not move from where they are born. There is no greater place upon this earth. Now, I think a bit of the honey. Where is that? I wonder. Give me just a moment. I have so many medicines. It is hard to find them amongst all these scrolls. Just take the lid off of our jar and take just a bit, just enough to make a paste. Isn't that beautiful? Now if only I can get it to our concoction in time. There. Now. Forgive me. Back on so that it does not attract any insects. And our papyrus back in its place. And now the honey. Mixed in. This is where the mixture becomes a little wily to work with. There. And I think if we apply this onto any excess can be used for the next days. Now we will just be applying the medicine. It's a bit sticky. Now, when I give the rest of the prescription to you, I want you to apply it every day for 4 days. And if after 4 days there's been no change, then you come back here and we diagnose you again, determine what action to take, what prescription to use. When I studied medicine, this is something we always did. That we have to give the medicine a chance to work. And only if after 4 days it has not worked, then we make a new prescription. And there are so many prescriptions for the same ailments because some prescriptions work well for some people, whereas other prescriptions work well for others. Now this one is one of my most successful prescriptions. I do not believe you will have any trouble with it, as it was bestowed upon us by the goddess herself, the goddess of magic. I think you will find that there is a reason that the god Ra used it to alleviate his own headache. Work in. The honey starts to be absorbed by the skin just a little bit. It gets this tacky quality, as you can hear. And oftentimes I will feel a bit of numbness in my fingers, and that lets me know that it is working when I administer this particular cure. And I will just take this to the sides as well. How is your head feeling? It's starting to get almost a warm, pliable quality. It may take a few minutes for the cure to be absorbed into the body. quality of the mixture has gotten quite tacky. That means it's working. This is one of my easiest cures of the day. It's one of the most relaxing as well, is it not? This bit of kneading into the skin. Gentle circles over the afflicted area. Sometimes just these little movements are enough for a cure. Now, as for administering the medicine, about the amount that I had used on you is the amount that you will need to use every day, once a day. Now, I think I put about that much of the medicine on my flat rock. You may use that, or you may use your fingers to scoop up the medicine. But I find that the medicine becomes less compromised if one is to use one of those flat rocks to apply it. Then the sand and the dirt and all of the things that cling to our skin will not get into the medicine. Now, I believe I made enough so that you will have enough for all 4 days. However, if you do need more, you are more than welcome to come back. And I think that this might be something, even if it does work, it may be something you have to take somewhat regularly. And if that is true, then you are more than welcome to come back as well. And we can work out a sort of regimen that you take this for your headaches should they keep coming back when you're not using any of the medicine. If that is fine with you. Good. Now let me see. I know. Now, I believe that since your vessels have been compromised, this can attract diseases, this can attract imbalance, and I wish to perform a spell for you, an incantation, to ward off any of those diseases, so that while we are healing your affliction, then we do not have to deal with more of them as you are treating the one that has started this compromise. Now, I have another scroll with this incantation. Good. Now, it says that we are to say this spell over a piece of wood with a fresh flower tied to it. So I certainly have a flower. And as it so happens, I do have some wood, so we can tie these together with a piece of linen, the one that holds my scroll together, but that is fine. I have more than enough linen scraps to tie them together. And we shall do this. Together. Just like that. This is the beginning of our spell. Piece of wood, fresh flower, and our linen. Now, we say it over this. Let me see. Spell against disease. Bring this to the light. Your messengers have gone up in flames, Sekhmet. Your night demons have retreated, Bastet. The year has not passed for tempest against me. Your winds shall not reach me. I am Horus over Sekhmet's night demons. I am your Horus, Sekhmet. I am your unique one, Wajet. I shall not die for you. I shall not die for you. I am Ululator. I am Jubilator. Bastet's son, don't come down on me. You in disarray, don't come down on me. Don't come near me. I am the king within his glaucoma. And I think that'll do it. good. So, a spell done over our wood and flower. And I think the last thing we need to do is we need to clean the medicine. How is that head of yours? Feels a little fuzzy, a little warm. That is good. That is the medicine working. Now we will clean the afflicted area. Now, something I do want you to do as well, besides applying the medicine, is that I want you to watch over your dreams. I want you to listen to them, to be open to what the gods tell you. And when I see you next, as I will see you regardless, I want you to tell me what it is that you have seen. And come straight to me if you see yourself being consumed by crocodiles. If there is a particularly troubling dream that you have, then I will have you be seen by the nearest temple so that they can perform a dream interpretation on you. I have a rudimentary knowledge of dreams and their interpretations, but I am merely a village healer who also staffs and takes care of the goddess Isis' place of worship here. But there are many more priests and priestesses to take care of your ailment. Very sticky concoction, needs quite a bit of attention. Adjust this. I wipe my own fingers. There. Now I shall supply you with your medicine in this little pot here, and I have many of these flat rocks for administering medicine if you wish to take it with you, as it does already have some of the medicine on it. If that is all right with you. Wonderful. Take this with you, and remember, once a day, apply it to the afflicted area, and massage it in just as I did. And wait until the skin feels warm and fuzzy and numb before you take it off with some linen. Wonderful. Now, I shall see you back in about 4 days. Make sure to keep an eye on your dreams, and I think this will work quite well for you. I hope that the goddess is watching over you and cures your headache as she did the god Ra. Now, I will bid you goodbye, and if I were you, I would have a nice deep sleep after this. It is an absolutely beautiful day for that. Sitting underneath the shade of the trees, the date palms, and just basking in the breeze. Now, if you don't mind, I seem to have another patient waiting for me. Thank you. Hello. What can I help you with? I see. Well, take a seat and I will look through my scrolls and see what we can do for you.